Kiana Massey from the Atlanta Voice, and I am here with Pinky Cole, the owner of Slutty Vegan ATL, and we are going to get the inside scoop. So can you just kind of introduce yourself, tell us how this idea came about, and why people need to come to Slutty Vegan?
Well, my name is Pinky Cole. I'm the CEO and founder and the janitor and all of the above for Slutty Vegan. I started this concept last year, 2018, in August. I was sitting in the house one day and I wanted some vegan junk food. And literally what I thought was going to be a ghost restaurant where people would only order through delivery apps really turned into one of the most popular brands in the company, in the country. So, you know, it's an interesting thing because so many people support and love this brand. And I'm proud of what it's done for the community. I'm proud that we're helping people to reimagine food in a way that we've never seen it done before. You've never seen a business like this. So to say that I am the guide steering that ship makes me feel really good. So, you know, I'm just happy to be here.
Right. So can you talk about a little bit how it exceeded your expectations and what you know, since it went so far over what you expected, what are your goals for the future?
So it exceeded my expectations in a lot of ways. One, I didn't expect to have a line almost a mile every single day.
Right.
I didn't expect to have over 1,000 customers every single day. I didn't expect to have repeat customers every day. But what I knew for sure is that as long as you're in alignment, anything that you want will happen and come into fruition. And I think that's what Slutty Vegan does. The people who come are not only supporting good food, they're supporting a black-owned business who happens to be a woman, someone who they feel proud to represent, to say, you know what, I'm glad that I'm a part of this company because she's representing us in a way where it makes us proud to, one, be black, two, to have a successfully black-owned business, and to really knock down all of the misconceptions that people have and feel about black-owned businesses. So it exceeded my expectations in the most major way. And what do I see for Slutty Vegan in the future? So many things. I can't predict because had I predicted this, I wouldn't believe myself, you know?
Right. But I'm sure your goals are different now. Now that you've accomplished this, it's like, let's go bigger.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are actually happening. So they're coming into fruition, the things that I think about. For instance, we're going to have a reality show about my life and entrepreneurship. And then I'm rolling out 7 stores by 2020, which is a very big deal for a business so new.
Tell us about those cities.
So we're still playing with the cities, but for sure is LA and New York City.
Okay.
LA, New York, Miami. We're going to put one in Savannah. And then I have 2 more locations rolling out this year in Georgia, which is very historic to the communities in which they're in. And we're just excited about that, you know?
I was hoping you were going to say Baltimore. She's from Baltimore, I'm from Baltimore. So why not Baltimore? Why not DC?
Because my family lives in Baltimore and they can't come and get free food every day. No,
we would love it. We need vegan food too.
Yeah, you know, Baltimore is one of those places that's near and dear to me. I want to make sure that it's right when I do it. So it's definitely going to be on a list. Maybe not in the first round, but eventually Baltimore will have a staple like that. Because, you know, coming from Baltimore, the only thing that we really can eat is chicken box and cheesesteaks, right? So it's really not a lot of places for you to go and get real good quality food and get a fun experience. So Baltimore would be great. So that's definitely going to be on my list.
Okay. Kind of going off that, a lot of African Americans really don't dive into that healthy vegan lifestyle. How did you get started?
So my mom is a Rastafarian, so I grew up not eating meat, right? So yeah, I would have chicken here and there, but it's interesting that as you get out into the world, you realize how people are different everywhere you go. So I came to college at Clark Atlanta University and I started eating chicken more. And then one time I got sick, it was in 2007, and I decided that I didn't want to eat meat anymore. So I have been meat-free since 2007, and in the last 5 years I decided to go vegan, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made because what that did is it gave me a level of mental clarity that's unmatched. And it allowed me to show my family who, you know, some of them have diabetes, some of them have high cholesterol, to show them, like, listen, you can live and it doesn't have to be compromised by a dead animal and eat good, you know? So it makes me feel good that I walk in this lifestyle, and it makes me feel even better that I can be the spokesperson for cool vegan and plant-based living. Like, you know what I mean? So that makes me feel really good.
So you talked about just your network, and you talked about going to Clark Atlanta. I'm a recent graduate of Howard University.
Thank you.
So how did you utilize that network? start your business?
So, it's an interesting thing. So many people think that because of the network that I had, it's the reason why Slutty Vegan is so successful. But that's furthest from the truth. So before jumping into Slutty Vegan, I was a casting director for a very popular TV show. So I've always been fairly successful. I've always, have done well in my career. But I think that the success of the business had nothing to do with the networks. It had everything to do with being in alignment and moving with good intention. I think that the networks came in only after the business got super successful.
Okay.
So it's just a lot of grinding that was required in order to make the business popular. And that's from the social media. Even today, myself and my assistant, we run the social media page, and the day-to-day stuff. I still have my hand in a lot of things. But what the network did is the network provided resources to really expand the brand and to help people get more understanding of it and to provide that level of exposure. So I'm happy that it did that, and I'm happy that now I have the network to do literally a lot of things that I want to do, unlike before.
Okay. So one thing that I've noticed is that you have to have multiple sources of income.
Yes.
So for someone who, has a dream, but also wants to, dive into entrepreneurship, what is some of your advice? What has been some of your hardest moments?
Entrepreneurship is hard.
Yeah.
And it is not for the faint of heart. Yes, I'm talking to you. And if you are not ready to go hard or go home, then this is not the industry that you should be in.
Yeah.
And I say that because there's intentional failure that comes with success. Like, you're supposed to fail, right? And what I mean when I say that is you learn from your failures.
Okay.
Like, you're supposed to learn from those mistakes. You're supposed to be able to grow. And how can you grow if you don't have any hiccups along the way?
Right.
So you got to be okay with hiccups. And a lot of people aren't okay. So if you really want to be an entrepreneur, you have to really be in a state of mind to understand that things are going to fall apart. Things aren't going to work out exactly how you want them to, but what those things will do is it will help you to really reach another level, gain some more insight, gain knowledge, and more importantly, gain experience so that you can be a walking testimony and that you can grow in business and you can teach other people about business based on the experiences that you have.
So what are one of those moments for you? I want to know.
When my restaurant burned down in 2014. I had a restaurant in 2014. It was called Pinky's Jamaican and American Restaurant.
Okay.
And for me, coming from Baltimore, I was always very well known. So I used to throw high school parties in Baltimore where I would make $4,000 a week. I was the youngest party promoter.
Okay.
When I was in high school, too, I used to sell McChickens for $2. I would buy them for $1 and sell them for $2.
Okay.
And I've just always had the hustle mentality. So when I graduated from college, and I got into TV, I had a lot of money saved. I opened up a restaurant and it was super popular.
Yeah.
But the foundation wasn't properly built, right? And I can honestly say that now, that when I had a grease fire and everything went up in flames and I lost that restaurant, I couldn't understand it. It was a shot to my ego as an entrepreneur, because I'm like, everything that I touch turns to gold. So how is it possible? You know what I mean? How is it possible that I have a business like this and it falls apart? Now here I am. I've had it all and now I have nothing.
Yeah.
So what I learned from that is, one, make sure that I always have fire insurance. Okay.
Right.
And make sure that I have the proper infrastructure so that if something like that happens to me, I'm protected.
Okay.
And I didn't know those things before because they don't teach us that in school. They don't teach you really how to run a business in school.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, they don't teach us that. So a lot of the things I had to learn along the way. But now, full circle, when I look back, I'm like, you know what? I'm so happy for that fire.
Yeah.
Because what that perceived failure did for me is it taught me how to be better. It taught me how to have thick skin and to understand that everything literally and figuratively happens for a reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so, that would be my advice. Like, it's okay to fail.
Right.
And what you may see as a failure is really not a failure. It's really just a test for you to get through your journey. Yeah, and push you through your journey.
Okay. So I want to ask you about the menu items. The Slutty sauce, the Hawaiian buns. What is your most popular menu item and why do you think so?
Well, my most popular menu item is the menage a trois.
Okay.
Because
tell us about it.
The menage a trois is a plant-based patty with the bacon, the lettuce, the tomato, topped with shrimp, and our special sauce called the what's the name sauce.
Okay.
On the Hawaiian bun. I like to say that that's our most popular one because it's the most expensive and it has a lot on it, right? And it just makes you feel good about eating vegan comfort food. And it doesn't taste vegan or it doesn't taste plant-based. The shrimp, it's like a party in your mouth, right?
Yeah,
and people get excited about it because they can feel like they can have a menage a trois
Right.
at the same time, and they just love to say it. But we have a lot of different menu options. We have a seafood salad sandwich called the Quickie.
Okay.
We have the one night stand, which is the most popular, like as far as like it's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And that has the vegan bacon on it. We have a shrimp sandwich. We have a bratwurst. It's called the Big Dog. It's really good. But anything that you buy at Slutty Vegan is going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, we know.
Yeah. So, and one thing about the menu items and the food and everything is that even though the food is great and people come for the food, they really come for the experience.
Right.
And the food is just the icing on the cake,
Yeah.
right? So that we've built a certain culture at Slutty Vegan that people are okay with standing in line, because what happens in line is what will shape their idea about veganism and plant-based living. So that's talking about going on a vegan lifestyle for 30 days. That's networking and disconnecting from your phone so that you can communicate better, because what we do, we're always in our phone all the time, you know.
Right.
So with the menu items and the experience, it's just a win-win, and I think that that's a part of the reason why the business has grown as fast as it's grown.
So, like you said, the business has grown super fast. Tell me about how your life has changed in the last year or so.
Well, it's very interesting because life hasn't changed much for me. And I'll be honest, a lot of people ask me that question because literally I'm running a multi-million-dollar business and it happened in 10 months, but I'm just still Pinky from East Baltimore, from around the way, you know? I'll leave out the house with a t-shirt and sweatpants and they're like, Pinky!
Right.
And I'm like, listen, I'm just me, and I think that, I'll always be me, and this is who I am, and I think people love and respect me for that because I know that the business has garnered a level of celebrity, and obviously as the owner of the business, I have too. But I'm so deep in that I really don't pay attention to what's going on. It makes me feel good when people ask me for pictures and people ask me for my autograph, but that is a part of the world that I'm not used to, people wanting my autograph. But more so than anything, it just feels good to have people proud of me, you know? But yeah, it just still feels like every day, get up, go to work, do what you do. And
I think you get more calls, more texts, more emails.
No, it's funny. I mean, we get emails all the time, but as far as personally, I thought that opening the business, I would get much more calls from my distant cousin telling me, you know what I mean? I don't really get that.
Okay.
But I know that my network is growing in a different way. The kind of people that I would only dream of being in front of are now my friends, you know? So that's different.
They say your name is in rooms you haven't even entered yet.
Absolutely.
And, Slutty Vegan is all over the place.
Yeah, that makes me feel really good. To be able to have a solid brand like that. And I just pray that the brand continues to grow in a way that people love it, which is why humility is so important, because what that'll do is it'll keep that positive energy on the business, and people will continue to love it, support it, promote it. And that's what we really want.
Okay. We want to thank you for, letting us come out and interview you. And, I'm just so proud of you. One, being from Baltimore, and just being Black and a woman, HBCUs, we are so proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.